Whitney Reynolds is in. And by the way, the Whitney Reynolds show new season starts on Monday night, right, on PBS?
It does, girlfriend. We are kicking off season 5.
That is so exciting.
I know, I can't believe it because, it seems like just yesterday we were like, hey guys, we're starting a talk show. It's online, log on. And now it's like literally turn on your TVs during prime time because we are talking topics that really are impacting not only our city, but even outside the city now.
I know, and I follow you on Facebook, and I liked the other day how you said that you were in the store and a mother came up to you with her kids, and her kids recognized you and knew the topics that you spoke about. And I also want to mention that you're now Emmy nominated.
Oh, girl, I can't believe it. I mean, we've been applying for years. When that happened, I mean, it was funny because I didn't think we would get nominated. And my husband goes, we need to be a gracious loser. And I'm like, okay. And then we got nominated. And he's like, you need to learn to be a gracious winner.
Right,
so I'm like, okay, yeah. So this was such a big season for us. And it was actually we were nominated for our show on veterans, which was such a powerful episode because we weren't just talking about the normal way people talk about veterans because we know they need support.
Right.
But what does actually support look like when it comes to veterans and like when they come back home from serving?
Right.
How do we integrate them back in to being normal people that are, making a difference here at home? So it was such a cool show. We pulled out so many different aspects, but it has been such a cool season, and I'm so pumped for our new season of the Whitney Reynolds show because it is just the primetime slot, we need all the eyeballs on there, so make sure to set those DVRs for 6:30 Monday night, Lakeshore PBS.
Awesome.
But I'm not here for that. I mean, I could go on and on and on.
No, but you're here for something near and dear to my heart.
I think it's near and dear to all of our listeners' hearts because who doesn't love our furry friends?
No.
I know, and I have the lovely ladies from Veterinary Specialty Center, and they have not only an event coming up, but first, let's have Dr. Ida, welcome.
Hi, thank you so much for having us.
Yeah, I'm so pumped to have you on because we're going to talk about the fall, because I always feel like somewhere around July, my dog throws out her back because of the fireworks, and there's a lot of different safety things you need to know for animals, and especially in the fall, you have kids coming in and out of your house for trick-or-treating, and that's what, speak to that to us. How do we protect our pets in the fall?
Yeah, absolutely. So ideally, you would take your dogs for a walk prior to trick-or-treating, just so they have their own personal time to potty, and then they can come back inside and spend time in a cage or a crate where they feel safe, away from the door so they can't escape. And then of course we could spend time with them, give them a Kong or something they really like to chew on, a good treat to enjoy. If someone could spend some time with them while you have trick-or-treaters coming to kind of relieve some of that anxiety for them, I think that would be very helpful.
So here's a question, because I really do feel like my dog's human, and she's
never.
Same
here. I have 2 Chihuahuas, and I speak to them just like I would speak to my son.
She understands me. She tilts her head and totally talks back, but minus the talking. But my question is, if my dog's never been crated, which I think actually is a big problem, because I feel like she has emotions, and she's like, what is this? Sure. I mean, do they actually go through I never been in a crate, I'm sad, I'm depressed, or actually they adapt?
That can be very frightening at first. They don't understand why they're in there, and it can be noisy and scary for them. So, we try to make that a very fun experience, and giving them something that they really enjoy, allowing them to go in there on their own volition is really helpful.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but no, you're absolutely right, because my Chihuahua, one of them, she hates the house. I call it their house. And the other one loves it, but I had a big white shepherd, and he loved his house. I mean, I crate trained him, and he ended up loving it, and my husband at the time got so mad because I wouldn't get rid of the crate. He said, you need to get rid of that. It's a security blanket. Quincy doesn't need that. And I said, he likes it. It's his house. It's his space. They're cave-dwelling animals. He likes to go in there. And so we got into this big fight, and I won because I thought, you know what? He needs his house. He loves it.
I like the idea of creating a fun environment, because think about that. If they like to go in there, then it is like protection for them. When she throws out her back, I would love nothing more for her to want to go relax it in a safe little place.
In their little space. It's like their space, not yours, only theirs. And that's kind of,
not big enough for humans.
No, but I mean, you talk about, talking to your animals like humans. I mean, that's what I did with my shepherd and with one of my dogs now, I sat there and I really sold him on it, and I'm so proud of myself that I got it done.
I'm exactly the same way. So with the Halloween, now candy is totally bad for dogs, right? Chocolate,
Yeah, chocolate can be a big problem. So it depends on how much chocolate they eat. Ideally, we would have no chocolate exposure.
Yeah.
But if they do get into chocolate, please contact a veterinarian just to decide if we do need to treat them.
Okay.
The signs that we can see, they can start vomiting, they can start having diarrhea, Sometimes they get very anxious because of the caffeine, and they can actually have seizures and actually die. So,
dear.
It's toxic for dogs.
Man.
Isn't it?
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, I'm glad we talked about the
really
no candy
careful.
rule for dogs.
Very important.
Yeah. And that, the one thing about animals, they don't talk, back, so they can't tell you what's going on. So if that does happen, I think seeking a veterinarian would be key. So any other tips that you have for people this fall season before we get to the big fall event that y'all are hosting?
Yeah, so in the fall with the cooler weather, sometimes we'll see more mushrooms growing outside. Most mushrooms are not toxic, but
they scare me though.
Yeah, the safest thing to do is just not to let them
I'm in a phase where I love mushrooms. Side note, but only the ones at the grocery store.
Well, no, I'm talking
not
about
the
ones in the ground.
I know. I'm sorry.
That's
That's freaking me out too. I've never liked mushrooms before, but I don't know if it's called getting older or what. But not the ground mushrooms.
No.
But yeah. So keep them away from mushrooms.
Away from mushrooms, and then unfortunately we can also see an infectious disease called leptospirosis.
Ooh.
It's a bacteria that they can get from being outside. Usually we would see it more in wooded areas. They can get it through ingesting contaminated rodent urine.
Oh,
so
that's city. Those are city dogs we're talking about right there.
Yeah, and unfortunately we're seeing that more frequently in the city now.
Oh my goodness.
So that's something, if you're noticing that your dog isn't eating and drinking normally, isn't acting like themselves, just seek veterinary care as soon as you can.
So don't walk your dog in alleys.
Yeah.
Dark alleys.
No.
Keep to the path, but
But
not the mushroom path.
Yeah.
So with the dog flu that was going around, everyone was talking about, I feel like being in the city and being like where you travel, like it's normal to board dogs.
Right.
And with the flu, is there anything we can do to prep our animals before going in besides their normal vaccine? Because, Puffy gets all her vaccines, whatever the one is for, boarding, Bordetella. Yeah. But with that, is there anything I can do to help build her up her immunity before traveling?
There is a dog flu vaccine. They're saying that it's not this strain that we're seeing in the city. It's not effective against this strain, but I think if your dog is exposed to a lot of dogs, say in a boarding facility or dog parks, things like that, I think it's reasonable to get that vaccine. So please talk to your vet about doing that. Otherwise, building her immunity, just keeping her as healthy as you can help her fight anything that she could get.
I love it. I think all of our little listeners are at home just like so excited for Halloween and hopefully taking notes for their little four-legged friends. So now we have another lovely lady in here. Introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Carrie from Veterinary Specialty Center.
And you have been heading up your big spooktacular. Is that what y'all are calling it? What are you calling it? Your dog-tacular. What is it?
We're having an open house and adoption event
that is
at our
so
hospital.
Cool. But we must note, before you all get excited about dressing up your dogs and coming out, and it's not pet-friendly, like don't bring your dogs out there.
That's correct. We decided to make the decision to make it un-dog-friendly, I guess, just because we didn't want to possibly harm the animals or possibly harm our patients as well.
Yeah.
Because we'll be giving guided tours through our hospital.
When I sat in the lobby, my dog really caused a big fuss out there. And, all the other dogs, it's like they either get along or they don't. So I think that's actually a brilliant idea because then people can come in, see the animals that are up for adoption, hopefully walk away with one of them. So so tell us how it's working. Is this the first open house you're doing?
It is. We're very excited about it. First time that we've actually opened up our clinic to the general public. So we're excited to give kind of the behind the scenes look because a lot of people see the lobby, they see our exam rooms, but they don't really know what goes on behind the scenes. So we feel like that'll give people a little bit better idea of what happens to their dog when they come through the hospital and hopefully make them feel a little bit more secure with us.
One thing I really like about the idea of having an open house is coming in when your dog's not under trauma and actually getting to breathe and be in a space that then if anything does happen, what does happen. Because I know whenever I've encountered trauma with Puffy, it's like when I'm going in, I don't know what to expect back there, but going and seeing maybe a behind the scenes look beforehand would really put me at ease to know. Yeah, and seriously, there's something about going out to Veterinary Specialty Center that I just breathe easy because that's what they do. All y'all do is fix animals. Like, it's not like you do, because I was even talking about boarding. Y'all don't even board. You're just a veterinary. Yeah, and that's what I love is like that's their specialty. It is like the 911 for animals.
That's great, though, and it's needed.
Well, and that Chicago has that because whenever I was, whenever I first experienced problems with Puffy, I didn't even know that Chicago had anything like that because in Oklahoma, not that I'm saying anything bad about Oklahoma, but we really didn't have an animal hospital.
Well, there are a lot of animal emergency clinics.
They're specialists, and that's the difference. It's like I, not that I've encountered this, but kind of have. People can try to pinpoint, but they might not really know.
Correct.
Like this is all they do. So they're like, if you think about it, the hospital for animals. Yeah. So this what are we calling it? I keep wanting to call it like a dog-tacular, spooktacular, open house.
Open house would be the
dogs.
best idea.
Yeah. So this is happening when?
This is happening November 8th. It's a Sunday. There are no Bears playing, so there's no excuses to stay home. It'll be from 12 o'clock until 4 p.m.
12 o'clock to 4 p.m. People come in. Kids can dress up, though.
Oh, absolutely.
Right,
I love that.
And then is there anything that people can bring, do for this event?
We're actually, it's the kickoff of our pet food drive for Anita's Pet Food Pantry. We're very excited about that. Last year we raised over 8,000 pounds of food and toys and everything to be able to help out like the less fortunate, especially around the holidays, to make sure that they can keep their animals cared for and properly fed. So we're hoping people will bring some food to the adoption event and the open house.
And how many animals are going to be there for up to be adopted? Like around 5 or 6?
We're looking around 5 or 6.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I bet they'll all get taken. I mean, that's amazing. And then what adoption agency or who are y'all working with for that?
I know you're working with Young at Heart. I believe
Midwest Dachshund
Rescue.
Mm-hmm.
Kathy was actually
keep working
she's
our
been
way.
taking care of
Oh,
the
no.
pet adoptions.
Oh my goodness, that is so cool. And then like with the adoption process, it's just so neat to actually, get to help out a dog that needs a home.
Yes,
That's what's
absolutely.
crazy.
Well, there's no reason on earth that anyone should be buying any pets. There are so many animals
I know.
that need homes, that need to be adopted. So anytime anyone is talking to me about wanting to add to their family, I am all about adoption.
Well, and
There's just no excuse not to.
When I went through, because I got Puppy, she's been with me 11 years, so I got her when I was 18.
Mhm.
And when I got her, I didn't know all the differences between like puppy mills and then all
Right.
that kind of stuff. And actually, now that I've done a show on puppy
But
mills,
more is coming to
last
light
season.
over it.
Yeah, I was
going
gonna say I think Puppy might have actually been a puppy mill dog, and I didn't do the research because I was so
I
now
think
that-
my purebred Chihuahua, I think she's a puppy mill
Isn't
dog,
that
too.
amazing? Like
Yeah.
when you peel the layers back and you actually
Mhm.
educate yourself on where these dogs are coming from.
Yep.
And there's so many dogs out there that need homes, and that's what really fascinates me with like understanding like the adoption process and then how we actually have a movement going. And there is a
Right.
movement. I've worked with the Puppy Mill Project, and they are moving here in Chicago about
Yeah.
eliminating that entirely.
Oh,
entirely.
it should be.
Yeah.
I mean, it's completely wrong on so many levels.
I know. And so adoption, I'm a big adoption person. My next dog, hopefully like 50 years from now, because Puffy will live that long.
Right.
Yeah. So my next dog will be an adopted pet, and I love that. So
Yes.
because they need good homes.
Absolutely.
So is this one that you work with, or do you bring in all different types of adoption agencies throughout and like facilitate that as well?
It's usually just in the suburbs, I guess the northwest suburbs area, but we have worked directly with Young at Heart. We've done surgeries for the Midwest Dachshund Rescue, so we always make sure to support their events as well, which
I
is
love it.
fantastic.
And so people can bring food, any type of specific food for the pantry, stock
We're
up.
looking, canned food is great. Even the big bags of food, what they'll do is they'll break it down into smaller portions and they'll give it out to multiple families. That way, not
Wow.
just one family is going home with this giant bag of food.
That is so cool. Oh my goodness. Wow. I think I'm going to definitely be out there. No Puffy Doolittle will be joining though, because we have no dogs allowed. But I think Dave and I will be dressed up. So that is awesome. So tell us the date again on that.
November 8th, Sunday,
Okay, awesome. And you said 12 to
12 to 4.
4, no Bears game. Go out there. Go see 'em.
Right. No excuse not to go.
Yeah, raise
Though,
food.
see, my problem is when I go to things like that, I already have 3 cats and 2 dogs, and I would adopt 10 more if I could.
You are my
but-
sister.
Yeah, I
She's that same
can't
way.
walk into a shelter and walk out with nothing in my hands. It just
Yeah.
doesn't happen. So it's kind of a double-edged sword for me. I mean, I want to go and I want to support, but at the same time, I'm not going to walk out empty-handed.
I know. That's
So
I'm pretty disciplined with that just because small headquarters in the city. But
Right.
you have like a yard. So I understand where you're coming from.
I know, but I mean, it's not even that. It's that you have to have the time and the
Mhm.
resources, and you have to. I mean, they're like having kids. You know
Yeah.
that, and you
Oh,
have to be
yeah.
able to spend your time with every one of them. And
Mhm.
if there are 10 of them around the house, you just don't have time.
Mm-hmm.
You have to get a pet nanny.
Yeah, and you know that's a thing. I meet so many on the street that we live on. We have pet nannies,
Right.
pet walkers. We
Yeah,
have all this
they
different
have 'em.
stuff. I'm like, wow, it is getting very progressive.
Yes,
for our
it
little
is.
Puerto
Yes,
Rican
it
friends.
is. I mean, they're becoming more and more human like every day.
I actually just bought, and David's probably going to kill me for saying this on air, but I got us a pet stroller.
Oh, you know what? I saw a picture of your pet stroller on
Officially
Facebook.
that lady. I
Yeah.
know, and it's only for long walks. Like around the block, I'm still giving Puppy her exercise.
Well, at least you haven't gotten a Bjorn yet, and you haven't done that, have you? Yes, you have.
Oh gosh,
Yes, you
all
have.
my secrets are coming out. But with Puppy, I'm just trying to manage her back, and so, but thank goodness I got a blue pet stroller because David said if it was pink, there was no way he was getting near me. But I actually bought it on Craigslist from a gal that was gonna. I said, well, why didn't you keep it? Because I met with her. It was in the box. She goes, my cat ran away when I showed it to him.
Oh,
So
no.
I thought, oh my goodness, it was so funny. So this city thing with our animals is so funny.
Oh,
So,
gosh.
but I'm so excited for your event. Thanks for coming in today, ladies. This was wonderful. So 12 to 5, November
12 to 4.
12 to
Yep.
4, November
November 8th.
8th. Okay, so I hope to see everyone there. And don't forget, guys, tune in to my new season Monday night,
Yes.
6:30. We're kicking things off with food allergies. You know, speaking of like fall safety, all that kind of stuff.
Right.
There's so many different flavors going around with the food, you know, like
Yes.
all these different, like infuse this, infuse that. And one thing that we've learned is so many kids are struggling with food allergies. So it sounds like a light topic, but it's actually like we're going to hear from a mother that almost lost a child from it.
Well, it is a huge thing, and I have a 12-year-old, and food allergies is a huge topic at school all the time. You know, peanut-free zone, and I'm sure that you've heard from doing your show. Now people are putting out teal pumpkins.
Yeah, it's
for trick or treating for
It's,
kids
it's
who
so
are
true, and
allergic.
and I don't want to say it's a movement again, but there's really not, and that's one thing we talked about with the doctor. There's really not a reason why we're seeing more food allergies, but it's happening. Like
Right.
a lot of kids have these allergies, and people
Yeah.
sometimes, because you know we lived in the era where our parents fed us whatever, and maybe we didn't have it, but now it is around, and now
Yes.
kids are. It's not just like a light little thing. It's actually like throats closing, having an EpiPen on site, knowing how to use that.
Yeah,
and
there are
it's
kids
crazy,
who
and-
travel around in school with their EpiPens. because of allergies.
Absolutely.
So it's a huge thing.
And it was so crazy because we had this young little kid, and he really showed me up on there. He was like 7 years old, and he made a documentary on food allergies.
Oh,
and it was
wow.
to educate other kids that they're not aliens, because that's basically what he felt like. Is he couldn't do this, he couldn't go to
Right,
that birthday
right.
party, he couldn't make friends in that group
It's gotta
because
be
maybe they're
tough.
and he's actually the coolest little kid I know. So I was
Yeah.
like, go you know?
And so this is all on your show Monday
Yeah,
night.
this is all Monday night. We're kicking off the new season. We have all sorts of topics this season. We have the plus size movement,
Uh-huh.
which is such a big thing because, you know, I love it because women are saying, hey, I am who I am. I might never be a size 0, but that's okay. I'm going to be the healthiest
Right.
me. And so this season is full of topics that are really just changing the way we look at things.
Well, I'm very excited for your new season, and
Thanks,
we
girl.
love you coming in and doing Whitney's Women.
Well, we love it.
So the more you come in, the happier I am. So you come on in
Yeah.
anytime you want. And ladies, it's been wonderful having you here. And like I said, this is a topic near and dear to my heart. So I could sit and talk about animals.
I love it.
24/7.
And one last thing, where can people find out more about you in case they want to go to the website?
The website is vetspecialty.com, and right on our main page, you'll be able to click on that and go directly to our event page.
And just a really cute side note, follow them on Facebook because they post the cutest,
Oh, all right.
cutest things. They are
Excellent.
so cute. So,
Okay.
yeah, so
Well,
check them out.
Thank you all for coming in today.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
Brooke.